These are the three things we're going to go over today. Right here. Something plus something to the second power. Or something minus something to the second power. Or this is something plus something times something minus something. You're going to figure out how to get the answer quickly. And basically, I'm going to write it out for you right now. To do this one, so this and this mean the exact same thing. For the second guy, these two mean the exact same thing. And for this guy here, which is very nice, is just this. This means the exact same thing as this. Yes, sir.
So why is it like 2AB? And then
That's a very good question. So what we're going to do is, what I'm going to show you today is basically this. You can memorize it if you want, or you could just use something you learned way back called the distributive property. How many remember the distributive property? So the idea of, say, for example, 5 times 123. You can break this down to be, to do it mentally, you could do 5 times 100 in your head to get 500. 5 times 20 is another 100. 5 times 3 is 15. So 5 times 123 is 615. So you kind of remember that? So you're going to use the same idea here. You're going to use that distributive property. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the distributive property and show you how this turns into this, and this into this, and this into this. And that's all this lesson's going to be about, and how you'll be able to use it for a couple things. Let's look at this first one. I'm going to rewrite this as a plus b times a plus b. Because this means the same thing as this, correct? All right, now all I'm going to do is use the distributive property. I'm going to multiply this a times everything inside the other parentheses. Then I'm going to multiply this b also times everything inside the parentheses. Because that's what this basically means. It means all of this stuff in here times all of this stuff in here. You just got to go step by step. So in red, it's the same as saying a times a. Let's just write it as AA. Also, plus, well, I'll just think, same sign, correct?
yeah.
So it's plus AB. Now I'm going to stick with the alphabetical order because that's what we grew up learning, alphabetical order. B times A, same sign, so it's positive. I'll just write it as BA. B times B is BB. Now when it comes to multiplying, does it matter what order you multiply in? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch these two around because it doesn't matter. If this was a 5 and a 2, 5 times 2 is 10. But if I switch it around, what's 2 times 5? So it doesn't matter. So I'll rewrite it as AA plus AB plus another AB plus BB. What is A times A? What's a shortcut for writing that? That's a to the second power. Now I have an AB and I have another AB. How many ABs are there?
2.
And so since they're the same sign, yeah, you add them together. So that's plus 2 ABs. And what is B times B? B to the second power. And that's how you get from this guy to that guy. So good old-fashioned 4th or 5th grade math can get you from this to this. All you need to do is be able to pay attention to what you're doing. This times this is right here. This times this is right here. This times this is right here. This times this is right there. Yes, ma'am.
Wouldn't it be a to the second power?
Well, this is a to the second power because it's a times a. This is AB plus AB. So if I had $5 plus $5, do I have $25? No, I have $10, so 2 5s. Got it? Because we're adding these together because there are plus signs there. All right. We'll try the other one. A minus b to the second power just means a minus b times a minus b. And I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did over there. I'm going to multiply the a times the a. Then I'm going to multiply this a times the negative b. Remember, keep those signs in mind. Here, I'm going to multiply this negative b times the a. And then I'm going to multiply the negative b times the negative b. Always keep that sign with that number. So when I do this, this becomes AA. And I have an AB, except are the signs same or different? Different. So the sign's going to be negative. Here I have negative. Again, the signs are different, so it's negative BA. Here I have negative and negative, the same sign, yes? So what is my answer going to be? Positive B times B. Again, I can switch these two around because it doesn't matter what order it's in. This becomes AA minus AB minus AB plus BB. So that's a to the second power. Let's go to this last one. That's b to the second power. I look at these two. So it's like I owe somebody this much. I owe somebody else the same amount. I end up owing two of those things. Same sign. Make sure you add them together. So if I have one AB and I have another AB, I have two ABs. But you always keep that sign. Or when you have the same sign, I should say, add them together.
Why is plus?
Because this sign and that sign, this is like saying negative b times negative b. So when you have the same sign, what is your answer going to be?
Positive.
Your answer is going to be positive.
But is there one or no?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really looked because I really don't care to look for a quicker way.
Do we even use this in real life?
I'm going to go over a couple of examples. That's a good question. Are you going to use this in real life? Honestly, unless you're learning to make parabolas, probably not. But at the very least, you'll just need to know. That's why I'm showing you the basics. I'm showing you how to use the distributive property, so that way you just know how to use the distributive property no matter what. Memorizing that, I don't really care if you do or not. But I want you to watch this guy right here real quick. So I'm going to do the exact same thing one last time. This times this, and this times this. Victor, I need you paying attention. This becomes AA minus AB. Signs are different, correct? So the sign's negative. Back here, plus BA. Signs are different, yes? So the answer is BB, negative. Now, this becomes a to the second power. This becomes minus b to the second power. But say this, I'm sorry, let's remember we can switch that around. So this becomes minus ab plus ab. What do you notice about these two guys? They're a different sign, but they're exact same number, yeah? So what can I do with them? Well, I don't add them. What do I do? Subtract them. What do you get when you subtract them?
0.
They're gone. So this becomes a squared minus b squared. All right. Here's one example of how you'd use that. What do you think what is the middle number between, so you have a 405 and a 395. That's around 400. So what you could do is, instead of multiplying 405 times 395, use one of those properties. Think of this. This is like saying 400 plus 5. This guy's like saying 400 minus 5. Isn't 395 400 minus 5? So now all you need to do is this is like saying a plus b and a minus b. So you can use this idea. So this is like saying a plus b times a minus b. And we already know that's going to be a squared minus b squared because we just did that, right? Well, if that's a, what's 400 to the second power? 1600, 100. You're just doubling these zeros too. Times. And that's b, so it's b to the second power. What's 5 to the second power? 25. I'm sorry, it's not. It's minus. So all you really need to do is subtract that. So you know, what's 100 minus 25? 75. So it's going to end at 75. So it's probably going to be 1, 5, 9, 9, 7, 5. That's it. And cut. That'll end with that.